Yeah, gather round, future millionaires. I got a bedtime story for your blockchain dreams. He said, copy this link, wake up rich by 3. Bro, that ain't trading, that's online make-believe. $8 it all, you can chill, you can nap. If your robot's that smart, why it needs your cash? Trust the system, BG got the sauce. System looking kinda thin, more like dental floss. Screenshots of profits, all cropped at the frame. Whole thing smell like spam mail in a chain. BG wealth, sharing is cap, my friend. Ain't no magic money, you can just send. You can't trade crypto by a copy-paste link. Use half a brain cell, just stop and think. There is no AI making you rich in your sleep. It's a big goofy scheme, not a secret technique. Stephen Baird ain't real, that dude's a meme. And Joseph Smith is a Mormon in a different scene. He said, bro, I met Steven on a private jet flight. Yeah, Agent Peg photo with the lighting not right. Sex accent keeps changing, name spelled 3 ways. Profile born yesterday, got success in 10 days. They throw mentor around like confetti and rice. Send you Bible length text but can't spell device. Joseph Smith taught me these crypto keys. Buddy, that's religion, not trading expertise. Stop it. Sharing is cap, my friend. So ain't no magic money, you can just send. You can't trade crypto by a copy-paste link. Use half a brain cell, just stop and think. There is no AI making you rich in your sleep. It's a big goofy scheme, not a secret technique. Stephen Baird ain't real, that dude's a meme. And Joseph Smith is a Mormon in a different scene. If they promise you the world just for sharing a code, that's not a blessing, that's a pyramid road. If guaranteed profit in the very first line, only thing guaranteed you get robbed online. Facts. BG wealth, sharing is cap, my friend. Ain't no magic money, you can just send. You can't trade crypto by a copy-paste link. Use half a brain cell, just stop and think. There is no AI making you rich in your sleep. It's a big goofy scheme, not a secret technique. Stephen Baird ain't real, that dude's a meme. And Joseph Smith is a Mormon in a different scene.
Hello everyone, my name is Steve Sughrim and it's an honor and a pleasure to share my story with you. Well, at age 36, I died. I had a heart attack. Now, I didn't go to heaven, I didn't go to hell, I didn't see lights. I just heard a voice said, it's not your time yet. And that's when I knew that I knew I was here with a divine plan. Hi, my name is Apostle Steve Sughrim. My geniuses are, I'm a servant leader, I'm an innovator, a creator, and a transformer of humanity.
You couldn't even tell me where you were registered.
Yep.
Easiest question to answer. Where is your company registered?
Boom.
Tell us.
2 seconds.
Danny, we're registered in the United States of America.
Oh my God,
No,
that
the
narrows it
state.
down. What state?
Time is coming. Your moment is approaching.
So, how's your deep dive going now, Queen Akama?
The brain is a marvel of technology, a fortress of thought, a spark of independence. But when you join a cult, you don't just follow, you surrender control. They rewrite your beliefs. They silence your doubts. They distort your reality until your thoughts aren't yours anymore. Think critically while you still can.
Karma's a bitch.
Queen of Karma.
Why, hello everyone, and happy MLM Monday. I hope that you are all having a fabulous, amazing MLM Monday. I was busy all weekend, so I did not have time to do posts. I was out with the family all of Saturday and Sunday. I was cleaning my house and getting all kinds of stuff done for my Shiva Files deep dive, honestly. And finishing up some stuff. I'm doing a deep dive on GGC as well, so stay tuned for that. But we are here, and we are ready to talk about some behind MLM drama. Now, this stream is the crossover that we never knew that we needed. You see, on July 6th, Oz from Behind MLM did an amazing review on Salarium Life that we'll go through. And some drama took place, so some drama took place. And because of that, I thought we would read through it. Hello, Sam. Good to see you. And discuss what is going on here. Because the person who had drama on Behind MLM is someone who is in Salarium Life, but they used to be in BG Wealth Sharing. That's right. So it is someone that was in BG Wealth Sharing and has used the BG Wealth Sharing scam being brought down in order to promote Salarium Life. And I think it opens up an interesting conversation of if this person was a victim of BG Wealth Sharing and now they are in Salarium Life and they are promoting Salarium Life, is this person still a BG Wealth Sharing victim? When do you go from victim to perpetrator or scammer or predator? Where is that line? And like, how do we gauge this? How do we handle people like the gentleman that we'll be talking about today, who has obviously been taken by one scam, they joined another one, and now they're fighting hard for that one? Do we handle them as if they are a victim of BG Wealth Sharing? Do we handle them like they are a scammer within Salarium Life now? How do we kind of gauge this as anti-MLM content creators and advocates? How are we supposed to kind of handle a situation like this properly? Where's that line? How do you draw that line? And I think it's a question we've been asking here for a while. And I think this is just another good way that we can have this conversation. Happy MLM Monday, Violet. I'm so glad you could make it. And hello, Joe, dancing away. And Sam is here. And so is Sweet. Yay! So, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because if you didn't know, I have actually done a bunch of deep dives on BG Wealth Sharing, starting with the Stephen Beard scandal they tried to hide. And then we did the DSJEX, the fake trading platform. We exposed that. We then went and we did the aftermath because they were getting closed down. And I have also done a deep dive on Gagan Sarkaria as well. That is a live stream. It's doing pretty good. Check that out. This is an update on everything afterwards. And I have also been covering Salarium Life because of Megan Lynch joining it. And I also did a deep dive on Steve Sughrim, and Danny DeHeck and myself actually got to interview him. He came on Danny's show, and that is in that video. And I can leave you the link to that one in the comments section here. If you haven't checked it out yet, I strongly recommend. If you don't know about Salarium Life, we kind of deep dive Steve and the whole company there.
So we've been speaking out about these scams for a long time, for several months now. And because of that, when I saw this going on, I was like, interesting. Interesting thing that's taking place here. I think we'll cover that on Monday. Because I was like, I've covered both of these scams, so I feel like I was called to the occasion. If they seem aware of being an active scammer, then we can treat it as such. And that's another question, though, is how do we know the difference between someone who is in a scam and they are not aware that they're in a scammy cult? Because, there's not a lot of people that are in cults that are going around saying, I'm in a cult. The whole thing about a cult is that you don't know you're in one until after you leave. And then you look at the behaviors and go, oh shit, they were controlling me. That was crazy. Because the manipulation is so slow, oftentimes people don't tend to notice. Right? And so it's like you just wake up one day like, what am I in? So where do we draw that line? How do we go from, how does someone go from being in a scam, not knowing it's a scammy cult, to finding out, yes, this is a scammy cult, and then either leaving or continuing down the same path, even if they leave that one and join another one? You know what I mean? Like, when can we start calling them a serial scammer? How many do they have to be in? These are all kind of like questions that I just kind of want to throw out here. I think it makes interesting conversation. They're taught to scam from the ground up. They come to forks in the road. Some drop out and be an exposer. Some hop multiple scams. Some start their own. And some become a coach, right? Oftentimes starting their own to do so. Do they get in at the beginning to be on top of the pyramid? That's a good question to ask. True, a scammer's not going to tell you they're a scammer as much as if they're in cults. Exactly. And I think we have to define this, right? We have to really come to an agreement about when you go from being a victim to being a scammer. And it might change. It might be the type of thing that is situational. Maybe we can't have a general rule about this. And again, that's something that I want to talk about today. I think it's a very fascinating topic. Because, it might be too hard for us to just kind of draw that line and come up with certain traits or number of scams you got to be in or etc. And it might have to be something that we do per case. And then how do we go about doing that, ensuring that we're staying ethical, we keep our integrity, and that we aren't attacking people that are victims? Right? How do we go about all that? How do we advocate better here? Always trying to find out, how do we do these things better? So, without further ado, stop rambling, Queen. We don't care. Let's get into this. So, I feel like we have to go through the review. We haven't done so yet. So, let's do this. Salarium Life review. Steve Sughrim discovers AI slop. Yeah, pretty much. That sums it up. So, Salarium Life fails to provide ownership or executive information on its website. Salarium Life's website domain, salarium.life, was privately registered on March 16, 2026. Further research reveals a June 20th Salarium Life marketing video hosted by Alan T. Jones, aka Alan TJ. So that's actually the gentleman that is very upset in the comment section. We've shown compassion to some of the worst too. It's true. And then how do we go about being okay with ourselves for that? You know what I mean? Like, when is it okay to show empathy and compassion? When is it not? I personally would rather show empathy and compassion as much as possible in every situation, but that's just me. What did I read his name as? Alex Jones, right? It's so hard not to, honestly. I almost wrote his name. I won't even lie to you, Joe. I almost wrote his name as Alex Jones. I typed out Alex and then was like, what am I doing? We are not talking about Alex Jones. I have managed to go my whole career so far without going down that rabbit hole yet. But yes, so he was obviously brought up within the first few sentences. I'm sure he wasn't pleased about that, but here's the screenshot, as you can see. And it says, as above in the video, Jones reveals Salarium Life is operated using DH Media web properties, namely recycled DH Media marketing tools and the subdomain app.dh.media. DH Media is owned by serial fraudster Steve Sughrim, aka Davenon Sughrim. And this is his post here, where he is announcing on the 15th of May, 2024, that they have DH Media Business Solutions at his DH Media company. Because Sughrim launched DH Media in 2024 as part of My DH Life. It's interesting, My DH Life, Salarium Life, you know. After the first iteration flopped, My DH Life began soliciting investment from consumers on the promise of a 300% passive return. Originally launched in 2020 and rebooted towards the end of 2023, My DH Life appears to have collapsed toward the end of 2024. Today, My DH Life's website is unreachable. My DH Life victim losses remain unknown. I should point out that the DH in My DH Life and DH Media stands for Dominion Hair. Sughrim's scams rely heavily on religious affinity fraud. Right? He likes to introduce himself as Apostle Steve Sughrim. Hey, Nev, good to see you. They're all called Steve. It's true. Serial fraudster conning the milk out of your cornflake. You know, maybe that's why Alan just stuck with Salarium Life. You know, he was like, I'm already used to like Professor Stephen Beard and BG Well. Here they got, you know, Professor Steve Sughrim. I won't have to I won't have to change the name I've been worshiping. Hello, Cool Cat. Good to see you. So yeah, it stands for Dominion Hair. He really does use his religion a lot. There's a lot of faith manipulation. And he does call himself an apostle, as Oz also brings up here. And here you have a picture of him where it says, true prosperity and abundance lie in the redemption of souls for the kingdom of God, where the wealth of the heart surpasses all earthly treasures. And it's, of course, signed as Apostle Steve Sughrim. Coinciding with his discovery of AI slop and Salarium Life, Sughrim has now reinvented himself as a doctor, right? Doctor of divinity. God doesn't give you a mission to watch you fail. He gives it to watch you finish. And here he is at the crossroads of mission, purpose, future success, because apparently all of these things are separate. Kind of a funny picture. And there he is, Dr. Steve Sughrim. And Oz says, thou shalt not steal is pretty prominent in the Bible. Perpetrators of religious affinity fraud typically ignore that part, though. Right? Funny how that happens. It's the only commandment that they don't follow. Yeah, it's gross. I don't want anyone watching me finish. Not like that, sweet. Jeez. Maybe your boyfriend or something. I don't know. On social media, Sughrim represents he is based out of Redmond, Washington in the U.S. That's what he states. In addition to being operated out of the U.S., the majority of Salarium Life promotion appears directed at U.S. residents. As always, if an MLM company is not openly upfront about who is running or owns it, think long and hard about joining and or handing over any money. Salarium Life's products. Salarium Life has no retailable products or services. Promoters are only able to market Salarium Life promoter membership itself. Salarium Life promoters are given access to recycled My DH Life, DH Media branded marketing tools. Salarium Life's compensation plan, because apparently this isn't an MLM. When we did our interview with Steve, that was one of his big things, was he claimed that they only pay down 2 levels. So that wasn't an MLM. Because it's it's an affiliate program. And I was like, no, an affiliate program only pays down 1 level. You only get kickbacks from people that come and sign up. That's it. When they sign up someone, no, you don't get anything off of that. The second you do, that's an MLM by law. He didn't like that. He was like, not how I define it. Salarium Life promoters purchase matrix cycler positions in USD equivalents of Bitcoin BTC. This is done on the promise of a return paid by newly recruited and existing Salarium Life promoters. And here it is. Earn daily, live your dreams. Turn a one-time $10 payment into over $21,000 in Bitcoin. Like, Lord, you know? Salarium Life solicits investment on the promise of a passive return, funded by other Salarium Life promoter investors. Salarium Life Cycler utilizes a 2x2 matrix, which is an MLM model, by the way. A 2x2 matrix places a promoter at the top with 2 positions directly under them, like this, and then those people have to also sign up 2 people. And you, the person at the top there, that's you, get paid for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which means that's an MLM. If you only get paid for 1, 2, that's an affiliate program. That's the difference, Steve, if you ever watch this live stream. Now that we have this visual here, you know? So, you guys know how that works. I pretty much just explained it to you. You sign up 2 people, they sign up 2 people. But the thing is, every time that someone joins, they're starting their own matrix. Right? Like number 1 is also you. And 3 and 4 are their number 1 and 2, right? And it just keeps going. That's why it's an MLM. So positions in each matrix are filled via positions purchases by newly recruited and existing Salarium Life promoters. Once all 6 positions are filled, a cycle is triggered. This results in a commission payout and generation of a new position in the same cycler tier. There are 6 tiers in Salarium Life. So these are the 6 tiers here. And you do get paid for recruiting, as you can see. It literally says in tier 1, you get $27.50 commission as matrix fills and new tier 1 position on cycle. I mean, I don't know why we keep making MLMs legal when they pay for recruitment, but anyway, 3x10 forced matrix or nothing. A Ponzi with extra steps. The matrices are typically pyramids within pyramids as a genealogy tree. Exactly. So, joining Salarium Life, because I'm sure all of you really want to do that. The Salarium Life promoter membership is free. Full participation in the attached income opportunity requires $10 to $5,635 matrix cycler position purchases. Note, while USD is quoted, all payments within Salarium Life are actually made in Bitcoin. Steve Sughrim, this is Oz's conclusion, is the latest middle-aged MLM fraudster to discover AI slop. Although Sughrim tried to integrate AI into his scamming back in 2024, as you can see right here, Earn with AI, AI slop didn't appear in earnest on Sughrim's social media until 5 or so months ago. Here he is on the 18th of January, where he is fancying himself as the next Nikola Tesla. So, that's an image for your nightmares. Gotta love that. Middle-aged will sting a dude running a scam. It will. This brings us to the launch of Salarium Life circa March to April 2026, which apparently followed Sughrim visiting financial fraud hub Dubai. And here he is saying Dubai wasn't a vacation, it was a mission. And this was on April 2nd that he said this. I believe I included some of these screenshots even in my video. Then Oz says, I should also probably point out Dwayne Golden appearing in Sughrim's 2024 Unlock the Future with My DH Life, 3 ways to 10x and make an impact in humanity using AI video. There it is. Right on the My DH Life website, which has like not even 1,000 subscribers. Silly queen, you just don't understand it. That must be it. See, that was posted March 3rd, 2024. So like Sughrim, Golden is a serial fraudster. Golden was indicted and arrested in March 2022, meaning he was scamming people through My DH Life while out on release circa 2024. Golden pled guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering in September 2024. 7 months after that, My DH Life AI video, and was sentenced to 8 years in prison in June of 2025. So not great news that before we ever came across this scam, it was being promoted by somebody who now has 8 years in prison. That was information that I did not quite know yet. So I've shared some new information with you. 10x anything is a red flag to me. That's right. All I can think about is like Grant Cardone or like Gary Vee or poor Al being used for scams. Hashtag justice for Al. Alan T. Jones, the man of the hour, the Salarium Life promoter cited early in this review, was also a promoter of E1U Life. So here he is on the 1st of March, 2025, promoting it. He said a one-time $25 in Bitcoin turned into over $40,000 in Bitcoin in less than 3 weeks. That's what he claimed. EU1 Life was an MLM gifting scam that surfaced in early 2025, around the time Dwayne Golden was appearing in My DH Life marketing videos. So here is Alan T. Jones on the 16th of June. And it says, my team is earning like crazy. Our brand new viral 2x2 Bitcoin matrix is going crazy. I made $225,000 in just 60 days with the last one we did. And now I'm positioning people early before the masses catch on. Get in before the crowd. I'm personally placing my first 100 people. So if you've been waiting for the right play, this is it. My team is already all the way at the top. Comment ready if you want the details. And Oz says, as of June 2026, Alan T. Jones claims to have stolen hundreds of thousands of dollars through MLM cycler Ponzi schemes. Dwayne Golden ran E1U Life through his son, David Golden, because putting your name to scams probably isn't a good look following an indictment for fraud. I wasn't able to confirm Steve Sughrim's involvement in E1U Life, but at least through Dwayne Golden and Alan T. Jones, there appears to be a circle jerk of serial fraudsters at the top of Salarium Life. Another name we can add to the list is Megan Lynch. That's right, they even bring Vibe into this. It's like everything's gone full circle on my channel again. Shut up! The smell of bullshit is strong in that claim, right? It's the circle jerk of life. The circle jerk of life. They will scam us all. From US to Portugal. I don't know. Fuck it. Give me some time to work on the lyrics. But yeah, they brought up Megan Lynch. So it said Megan Lynch teamed up with sister Reagan and Andre Russell. Remember Andre? To launch the Vibe MLM pyramid scheme in early 2025. As you guys know, I've also covered that. It's because of Megan Lynch and Vibe that I found Danny. Just saying. Vibe collapsed a year later in early 2026, prompting the sale of promoter details to Connective, a reboot of InvestView's iGenius scam. And again, full circle, just saying, Alan T. Jones is also a Connective promoter. Yippers. 19th of December, 2025. Here it is. Him posting all about how he's thrilled to share that he's partnered with David Immonity and Anthony. Makes my head spin. Like I said, a bit of a circle jerk of serial fraudsters sitting at the top of Salarium. Exactly. And that was our problem with it, right? I mean, Megan led us to it, because I've been following her since Vibe. And then it's just been constant scammers showing up. A visit to Salarium Life's website reveals AI-generated slop about salt and Roman soldiers. None of this has anything to do with Salarium Life as an MLM opportunity. Salarium Life solicits investment in Bitcoin on the promise of a return, paid out through pyramid recruitment into a multi-tier matrix cycler. And there it is. Apparently, if you get up to the top and you complete all 6 matrix cycles, that's what you'll be making. Apparently, it's a simple $10 in and almost $15,500 out. There is no external source of revenue within Salarium Life. All cycle commissions are recycled from newly recruited and existing promoter position payments. So to me, it is actually a pyramid scheme that is pretending to be an MLM, calling themselves an affiliate marketing program. Yeah, it's just deceit upon deceit upon deceit. So it's ridiculous, you know? Like every MLM matrix cycler, Salarium Group is a Ponzi pyramid scheme combo. As with all MLM cyclers, once promoter recruitment dries up, so too will cycler position purchases. This will result in matrices within Salarium Group's cycler starting to stall. Once enough matrices inevitably stall, an irreversible collapse is triggered. MLM matrix cyclers primarily benefit the admin and insider promoters. See aforementioned circle jerk group of scammers, right? And here is Alan T. Jones, all right, on May 3rd saying, any leader who knowingly promoted this scam should go to prison. I said what I said. They openly knew they were tricking their victims into investing their money into it. I got so tired of being harassed and told I was crazy for not joining. So I guess he didn't actually end up joining. I can do my own research to see fake documents. I know all money ain't good money. Fire back. What's your thoughts on BG Well? My thoughts are it reminds me of Salarium Life. Salarium Life reminds me of BG Well. And they both are run by a dude named Steve. Well, you can't buy the products because even the CEO can't show them to us. That's right. He said, give them 2 more weeks. It's been a while, Steven. Are you ready to come back on Danny's show yet? Or a filet program, chicken or beef? 50 years jail. That's right. That's right. 50 years jail. So remember that, Alan. For the admin in particular, Steve Sughrim in this instance, the majority of Bitcoin deposited into Salarium Life is siphoned through early positions across the cycler. This can and typically does include phantom positions, which are created at launch and siphon the majority of funds out through recycling over and over again as rank and file promoters are recruited. Insider promoters like Alan T. Jones and Megan Lynch are next in line on the theft ladder board, leaving the majority of Salarium Life promoters with an inevitable loss. And that is the issue with all of the MLMs. How about E-Estate? Is it an MLM? Stay away. Goliath, slain by little David. That's right. Wagyu beef jerky. Yeah. Jesus. So then I come down here to the comments, and usually the comment section is pretty lit, but sometimes it's more lit than others. Roman Empire defeated by the barbarians. That's right. So, the scammers need to choose some better themes. They really do. So, Alan makes an appearance on July 11th. So, over the weekend, I'm watching this go down, right? I'm like, oh, cool. Oz did a review on Salarium Life. That's great. I'm glad that everyone's speaking out about this. And then I saw this. I was like, I'll just be watching. So, Alan comes on, very upset. And he says, hey, Oz, I've actually followed your page for years, and I'll give credit where it's due. There have been times when you've been spot on, and there have been other times where I believe you've missed the mark. That's the nature of opinions. And I love it when people say opinions. You know what I mean? Because we're not just coming out here after watching a few promoter videos and then going, hi guys, I think that this is a scam, don't join it. Hi Gotta, good to see you. That's not what we're not giving an opinion. We pour hours of research into each scam. We track crypto wallets. We look up registrations of companies. We also watch several hours of videos of the promoters, of the CEOs. We go and we look on the social medias to see what's being said and when they were said. We make a timeline of the launch period and what's been promised versus what's actually appeared, you know? What's coming to fruition, what hasn't. We look at the programming, the coding of the different websites and the different products, if there are products to look at. It, like I said, we're not really just giving an opinion. We're doing investigative journalism. That's what that is. You know, people get mad at me because I'll come out here and I'll be like, this person is a predator. This thing's a scam. This thing's this. This thing's that. And they'll be like, no, Queen, you can't talk about that until the person gets charged. Baby, my job is to collect all of the evidence and give it to the people so that they can get charged. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing all of the groundwork to look into these things for real, as if we were the feds. Sometimes we can do more than what they can do. They're not allowed to go and fuck around with their Zoom meetings and make them rage quit and not be able to scam anyone for that day, like we are. So I'll admit, we've taken a couple of steps further, maybe, but we have their blessing. That's all I'll say about that. So it's like, we do our due diligence. We do our due diligence before we say, oh, this thing is bad. So it's not just an opinion. And so the minimalization of what Oz does here is very interesting to me. But that's what we're just starting off with, Alan. Affiliate marketing and MLMs have similarities, but they aren't the same thing. And here is Steve's lie coming out, right? Not every opportunity fits into the same box, and I think it's important to evaluate each one on its own merits, instead of assuming they're all identical. You mentioned my name, but you never reached out to me, never asked me a single question, and never gave me the opportunity to share my perspective. Just funny, because I believe that's what Alan is doing right now. I believe people deserve to hear both sides before forming an opinion. I have no issue with healthy skepticism. In fact, I encourage it. Everyone should do their own due diligence, ask questions, review the information, and make their own informed decision. Nobody should join anything simply because I say so or because you say they shouldn't. At the end of the day, everyone is entitled to their opinion, and I respect yours, even when it differs from mine. I just choose to spend my time building businesses, helping customers, and mentoring people rather than assuming every opportunity is good or bad before people have the chance to evaluate it themselves. My name and reputation mean everything to me. That's why I proudly put my face on what I do and make myself available to answer questions directly. If anyone wants to know why I'm involved, don't rely solely on an article or a marketing presentation. Ask me. I'll answer honestly and let you decide for yourself. They are all identical, right? Exactly, Nev. It's like, guys, it's all like the same scam, though. Just with a different name, different leaders, different matrices. You know? And Oz says, everyone loves BehindMLM until we review your scam. Affiliate marketing and MLM have similarities, but they aren't the same thing. That part is in green. The parts in green are pieces, quotes from the message above, right? That he is responding to. So Oz says, no one said they were. Given Salarium Life is an MLM opportunity, not sure why you brought up affiliate marketing. And like I said, Oz, it's because Steve Sughrim is telling all of them that this is affiliate marketing and not MLM. And then you got Megan showing everyone pyramid charts. Like, it's ridiculous. So Alan said, not every opportunity fits into the same box, and I think it's important to evaluate each one on its own merits instead of assuming they're all identical. So Oz says, I agree. Did you somehow miss the 1,000 plus word written from scratch and independently researched review you're commenting on? So then he says, Alan said, you mentioned my name, but you never reached out to me. And Oz said, I had no reason to, because he has all the screenshots. It's like, we have the evidence. I'm not sure what's going on. Why would I have to? What is happening here right now, you know? Like, why would I reach out to you? I love it when they say that. Listen, I've had straight up smear campaign videos made out about me. Do you think any of those people ever reached out to me? Never gave me the opportunity to share my perspective, Alan had said. So Oz says, your perspective on what? Your perspective on anything doesn't change the fact Salarium Life is an MLM Ponzi cycler. And then, of course, Oz responds to Alan saying, at the end of the day, everyone is entitled to their opinion. And he says, whatever opinions you may or may not have are irrelevant to the fact Salarium Life is an MLM Ponzi cycler. And so then he quotes Alan saying, if anyone wants to know why I'm involved, don't rely solely on an article or a marketing presentation. Ask me. So Oz is like, okay, you know what? Fine, Alan. I'll take the bait. Okay, you really want me to make this about you? I'll ask you. So he says, cool. Why are you promoting an MLM Ponzi cycler run by a serial MLM Ponzi fraudster? You know? He is. He's bitch slapping him. It's a Ponzi, Alan. So, of course, Alan returns and says, Oz, I appreciate you taking the time to respond. As I mentioned before, I've followed your work for years. We need to start off with some love bombing, you know. There have been many times where I thought you were spot on. And there have also been times where I believe you've missed the mark. That's the nature of opinions, and I respect your right to have one, even when I don't agree with it. I can only speak for myself. I don't speak for Steve, Salarium, Connective, Go E1U, or anyone else. I speak for Alan Jones and the decisions I make after doing my own due diligence, which I want you as the audience to ask yourself, is he doing his own due diligence? Or is he someone that was brought in after doing other Ponzi MLM schemes and positioned at the top of this with a team already like Megan Lynch, so that it can appear like Salarium Life is really successful and people are building these teams really quickly, when in reality, it's people with teams already built just kind of showing up and then getting a top position. Can you trust what Alan Jones then says about this? Now, do we like MLMs? No. But I'm not going to get anything or lose anything if you join or don't join this thing. If you join Salarium or Connective, Alan gets something. So is he actually doing his due diligence, or does he have rose-colored goggles on because he wants it to be real, you know? Speaking of himself in the third person, always a sign, right, Joe? Just recycle the first response in the first part there, right? He says, you also brought up Connective, and my decision to promote Salarium is based on my own evaluation after researching it for myself. I don't blindly follow opportunities, and I don't blindly follow critics either. I evaluate each opportunity on its own merits before I ever put my name behind it. And I'm like, okay, we get it. You claim that you do your due diligence, but that's what you all say. I bet you if you ask Patrick Bet David right now if he actually looked into Goliath Ventures, he would say he did. Oh, wait, CoffeeZilla did do that. And he did say that it was all fine when he researched it. So maybe they just don't know how to do research, all these people. I don't know. Nothing about you, Alan, is based, mate. Helen, may I point out that if you are indeed doing due diligence, you really suck at it? That's what I mean. Like, what is the problem here? You know? I mean, what are we talking about? So, you asked me why I'm promoting Salarium. The answer is simple. I researched it, asked questions, looked at what it offers, and made my own decision. That's exactly what I encourage everyone else to do. I don't expect people to join because I say so, and I don't think you should reject something simply because someone else says they should. One thing I believe gets overlooked is the actual value of the products. I actually use the digital products every day, and they save me a significant amount of money in my business. That's real value to me, whether I ever sponsor another person or not. You also brought up Go E1U. God, I hate the name of that thing. We're just going to call it Go from now on. I hate saying the whole thing. From my personal experience, I still have several websites running on the Go platform today. I still have access to the digital products I purchased. They continue to work, and I continue to benefit from them years later. That has been my personal experience. I also feel you're taking the definition of a traditional cycler, where there is little or no product or service, and applying that same label to programs that actually provide digital products people can purchase and continue using. To me, that's an important distinction. In my own experience, I still have full access to every digital product I purchased through Go. My websites are still online. The products continue to work, and I continue to benefit from them today. I also haven't personally encountered anyone telling me they lost access to the digital products they purchased through Go or Salarium, because there are no required monthly subscription fees to continue using what was purchased. Someone can continue benefiting from those products without ever promoting the opportunity. To me, that's a meaningful distinction, and one of the reasons I reached my own conclusion after doing my own due diligence. And I'm like, yes, and to us, that's what they all say. Alan wearing his sunglasses while doing his due diligence, right? With the lights off, right? We're covering a Salarium Life behind MLM drama, I guess you could say. The old pyramid schemes don't have product rhetoric, I see, right? It's so weird, and I hate it. It's kind of our fault, though. We did go around for a while saying pyramid schemes don't have products. That's part of the distinction, because it was at one point. But not anymore. You know, these things, they change. Bully for you, buddy. I wonder if he bought crap like O-Trim. Probably. You know? It's just so frustrating to read this at the same time. You know, after doing my own due diligence, which we've already established is probably not the greatest. It goes on to say, reasonable people can look at the exact same information and reach different conclusions. We call that confirmation bias. That's why I believe it's important to judge a business based on firsthand experience and verifiable facts, not solely on someone else's interpretation. Where we differ is this. I believe people deserve the opportunity to evaluate the facts for themselves. Healthy skepticism is important, but so is allowing people to hear both sides before reaching a conclusion. You mentioned my name in your article, yet you never contacted me to ask a single question or hear my perspective. Maybe it wouldn't have changed your conclusion, but I believe giving someone the opportunity to respond demonstrates fairness and strengthens credibility. At the end of the day, my reputation means everything to me. Here we go again. That's why I put my real name and my real face on everything I do. I'm accessible. If anyone has questions about why I'm involved, ask me directly. I'll answer honestly and let you make your own decision. Would you come on my show, Alan? Just wondering. We may never agree, and that's okay. I respect your opinion, keeps calling it that. In the meantime, Oz has researched the thing. All I ask is that people do what I've always encouraged. Don't blindly believe you and don't blindly believe me. Ask questions, review the information, look at the products, then make your own informed decision. And I'm over here reading this all weekend, by the way. Like, excuse me, sir. I dedicated several hours of my life along with Danny and the Avengers, and we put together a 1 hour and over 19-minute deep dive into Steve, his background, his education, his apparent awards, Doctor of Divinity. And then we also looked into your applications. We looked at DH Life. We looked at Salarium. We brought up Megan. You know, I don't understand how much more due diligence people can do. Reasonable people, that's right. Alan knows you'll call him Alex. You know? So Oz responds and says, Alan, you seem to think why you decide to join MLM companies with fraudulent business models matters. It doesn't. You cannot justify fraud. Period. It doesn't matter if your great aunt called you on the phone and told you it was the best thing in the world and you love her, so you joined. The same work you followed on BehindMLM for years hasn't changed. The only difference is this time around, you're on the back pedal as a promoter. So, you asked why I'm promoting Salarium. The answer is simple. I researched it. Oz says, do better. Alan said, one thing I believe gets overlooked is the actual value of the products. And Oz says, the value of the products/services attached to a fraudulent MLM opportunity don't matter. If you've been reading BehindMLM for years, you'd already know that. You know, he's pretending to be a fan to get in on Oz's good graces. Oh, I've been supporting you for years, Oz. How dare you attack me? Alan said, you also brought up Go. From my personal experience, I still have. And Oz cuts him off and says it doesn't matter what you do or don't have. Go was an MLM pyramid scheme run by a jailed fraudster through his son, no less, while out on pre-trial release. So, you know, he must be a real big family man. Because that really says love, is get your child to run your scam for you while you go to prison for it. Maybe then he can join you in prison. Wouldn't that be great? Alan said, I also feel like you're taking the definition of a traditional cycler where there is little to no product or service. Oz says, once again, you can't legitimize an MLM Ponzi cycler with attached products and services. In my own experience, your experience with fraudulent MLM scams doesn't matter. You can't my experience your way out of a fraudulent MLM business model. That's like saying, I've been a thief for 20 years. You should believe me. That's all we hear. You mentioned my name in your article, yet you never contacted me. Once again, had no reason to. We may never agree, and that's okay. So Oz says, whether you agree Salarium Life is an MLM Ponzi cycler is irrelevant to the fact Salarium Life is an MLM Ponzi cycler. You don't change the facts. Facts don't care about your fee-fees. Nobody needs to blindly believe anything. Salarium Life is an MLM Ponzi cycler because Salarium Life uses an MLM Ponzi cycler business model. The flow of money within Salarium Life, like any MLM Ponzi scheme, is new investment paid to early investors and or top recruiters. Again, this is laid out in the review. Feel free to address the above without the irrelevant my experiences and but we have a product excuses. You also didn't answer my question despite offering to. Why are you promoting an MLM Ponzi cycler run by a serial MLM Ponzi fraudster? What specifically in your research into an MLM Ponzi cycler run by a serial MLM Ponzi fraudster compelled you to sign up and start scamming consumers through promotion? You and I know the answer is money, but at least have the decency to publicly be honest about it. Right? So then Xenia comes in to take a go. And they say on July 13th, I appreciate the research that goes into your articles, but I think there are some points that deserve further consideration. For example, the Go platform is still accessible, and many users report that the products they purchase continue to function. If the article argues that funds are simply disappearing, it would be helpful to provide evidence showing exactly where the payouts are going. Salarium also appears to use a matrix compensation model alongside digital products that members can use. Whether that business model is ultimately sustainable or compliant is an important question, but the presence of a matrix alone does not automatically prove that every company using one is a scam. Okay. So now Oz's response to that. The Go Live platform is still accessible. Right. But owing to Dwayne Golden being in prison and or the cycler collapsing because recruitment died, the MLM opportunity is finished. Coincidentally, the Go Life domain expires in November 2025, after which you're likely to find your platform access disappears. Maybe he meant 2026. It would be helpful to provide evidence showing exactly where the payouts are going. It would be helpful if dumbasses leaving comments actually read what they were commenting on. From behind MLM's E1U Life review, as obviously confirmed by Dwayne Golden's indictment, guilty plea, and CFTC civil fraud lawsuit. Both pyramid schemes and gifting schemes are illegal in the U.S. Both types of fraud primarily benefit admins and early recruiters. The cycler model is particularly nefarious, as the overwhelming majority of deposited funds are hoovered up through the upper cycler tiers. This occurs through preloaded admin positions, and positions owned by early insider recruiters, which, by design, reach the top tiers first by design. Everybody else, the public, is at an immediate disadvantage, with the majority of participants taking a loss when E1U Life inevitably collapses. Literally spelled out for you in plain English. The presence of a matrix alone does not automatically prove that every company using one is a scam. Nobody said it did. Why Salarium Life is a scam is laid out in this review, which you also appear to not have read. You're the second Salarium Life promoter to come on here with the same "but we have products" playbook. Last time, I'm repeating this. Adding a product and or service to a Ponzi cycler pyramid scheme does not legitimize fraud. You cannot have a pyramid scheme with a product and say it is okay now. It's still an illegal business model. Feel free to go ask Dwayne Golden how things are going in prison if you still have any doubts. Not addressing Salarium Life being a matrix Ponzi cycler equals spam bid. Not interested in the usual scammer derail bullshit. Best of luck with the scamming. So what happened here is apparently Alan responded somewhere in here, and Oz was like, no, you're just saying the exact same things again. You are just saying exactly what you just said. And I don't care, you know? Hello, Serene. Good to see you. Hello, Ned. It definitely does. Hey, Salome. It is. It's getting spicy. Getting spicy in here. So when you see this, some like Oz come in and say something like this, that's what that means. That means there was a response here, either by Alan or maybe even the person above here. And what was their name? Xenia. And Oz was just like, no. It's the usual scammer derail. So, Glimdropper comes in and says, the never-ending dance of the serial Ponzi pimps. Move from one scheme to the next, knowing the most of the people they recruit will lose their money, but that's okay because they can make more or less predictable income off those same recruits. The money, as they say, is in the list. The key, as Mr. Jones demonstrated above, is that no matter how many illegal money games you've played in the past, you must always act indignant when someone calls your current illegal money game an illegal money game. That is just part of the dance of the serial Ponzi pimps. Shout out to Glimdropper. Melanie came in to, just correct Oz on it actually being the specific date that the domain expires, I guess, is now actually December 19th, 2026. She said that she tried to access the website today and there is error code 522. So it looks like it's gone. And Oz says, I don't know what it is about dates. It's July now, so I have no excuse. And it's because it was probably we read dates different than people in the US read dates. We switch around the day and the month. And I think that might be part of the problem there. That sounds like AI. How does a person keep responding the same way? What do you mean? Who sounds like AI? Very copy and paste bot, like we've seen Huns many times. I mean, they could have. Ponzi pimps, I'm borrowing that one, right? I like that one. So the root MLM website has been disabled, but the platform garbage is still up at go. go.e1ulife.com. So that's interesting. And then he says, oh, wait, I'm not a total dumbass. I read the updated date. Phew, had me going for a second there. And then Alan Jones comes back. He's not done. He's like, Zinnia, she didn't convince him to take his article down. So I need to try again. Don't worry. I wasn't just going to keep reading you comments if we weren't going to make it to another Alan Jones comment. So here we are. And allegedly it's July 14th already. Congratulations. That's because Oz is an Aussie. And so he is living in tomorrow. He lives in the future like Danny does. And Alan says, Oz, at this point, I think we're talking past each other. First, there seems to be some confusion between go.e1ulife.com and E1U Life. They are not the same company, and I think it's important not to treat them as if they are. Okay? Second, I can only speak for my own experience. I don't speak for every company, every promoter, or every opportunity that's ever existed. I speak for Alan Jones and the decisions I make after doing my own due diligence, which is something that he has said in every single comment. What I can speak on is what I've personally used. I still have several websites running on the go.e1ulife.com platform today. I still have access to the digital products I purchased. They continue to work, and I continue to benefit from them years later. That's not speculation. That's my firsthand experience. From my perspective, if there had been evidence that go.e1ulife.com itself was operating illegally, I would have expected regulators to take action. Yeah, because you know that happens all the time. I recognize that others may disagree, but that's part of why I reached my own conclusion. The same applies to Salarium. I researched it, asked questions, looked at the products, and made my own decision. I use the products every day. They provide real value to me. They save me money, and that's why I'm comfortable putting my name behind them. One thing I also think is important to point out is that not all business models are the same. I've seen plenty of programs over the years that promised unrealistic daily returns or guaranteed ROI. Those are exactly the types of programs I avoid. I don't join programs that promise fixed daily percentages. Guaranteed investment returns, which is funny because, yeah, you do. Or anything that can rug pull people. I've personally been a victim of scams and rug pulls myself. So those experiences made me more cautious, not less. My experience with Go E1U and Salarium has been centered on purchasing and using digital products that I actually use in my business, not on promises of guaranteed investment returns. In my own experience, I still have full access to every digital product I purchase through Go E1U. My websites are still online, the products continue to work, and I continue to benefit from them today. I also haven't personally encountered anyone telling me they lost access to the digital products they purchased through Go or Salarium. Because there are no required monthly subscription fees to continue using what was purchased, someone can continue benefiting from those products without ever promoting the opportunity. To me, that's a meaningful distinction and one of the reasons I reached my own conclusion after doing my own due diligence. How many times are you going to say that, Alan? Reasonable people can look at the exact same information and reach different conclusions. That's why I believe it's important to judge a business based on first-hand experience. I shouldn't have to join every scam. I shouldn't have to join every scam. Right? And it's funny because they also like to deny survivor advocacy. People that leave and then say, yeah, this thing is a scam, it sucks. They go, oh, don't listen to them. They're just mad. They're just mad it didn't work out for them. So personal experience matters, but only if it's a good personal experience about the scam that you're promoting. If it's a bad personal experience about the scam you're promoting, then it doesn't matter. Do I got that right? You know? We're not listening to Alan, folks. It's Al. That is Al. We found him. More cautious to make sure you're the one to benefit most, I guess, right? If you want croutons and dressing with that word salad, right? It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's why I believe it's important to judge a business based on firsthand experience and verifiable facts, not solely on someone else's interpretation. Where I strongly disagree with you is your repeated accusations that I and others are stealing people's money. Those are serious accusations. And serious accusations require serious evidence. You could disagree with a compensation model all day long. That's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. But accusing people of theft is something entirely different, which is funny because you didn't bring that up until just now. If you're going to publicly accuse me by name of stealing people's money, then show the evidence. Show the customers who paid for a digital product and didn't receive it. Show where I took someone's money and refused to deliver what they purchased. Show where I stole from anyone. If that evidence exists, present it. If it doesn't, then stop presenting opinions as if they're proven facts. One of the hardest things about speaking out about these schemes and cults is that the people who are victims don't yet know they're victims. So we are oftentimes speaking out about something that is harming somebody, and the people that are being harmed from it don't realize that it's harming them, so they get mad at us for speaking out about it, and we have to kind of take that. It's one of the shitty things about doing this. And so I'm trying to figure out, is Alan just in a position like that, where he's in so deep that he just doesn't see it? Or is he a co-conspirator with this? Does he know exactly what he's doing? Is this what I think is also AI slop that he's put together here and written out to Oz? Is this actually how he feels, you know? Or is he trying to manipulate us? Alan, I think I am older than you, so I think I am entitled to say, just stop talking and go to bed. Stop digging the hole deeper, Alan. You know, like, I'm just saying. So he says, show where I stole from anyone. If that evidence exists, present it. If it doesn't, then stop presenting opinions as if they're proven facts. And again, the problem is that he promotes things, people join, they lose money. Many people that are victims of things like that don't like speaking out also. Because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to come out. There's such a stigma that we keep trying to end out here about being in these MLMs and being in pyramid schemes or being scammed. There's such a stigma of, oh, well, you must be stupid. How did you not see that? And I'm constantly trying to combat it and talk about how scams and cults and stuff actually don't like dumb people. They try to go after people who are intelligent. But it's embarrassing. And it's really hard to come out publicly, take it from someone who's done it, and be like, hey guys, I was out here and I was promoting something and it ended up being a scam. Even though I was all in and I tried to get you all in with me, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry and I shouldn't have done that. And then to make things right. That takes a lot of work. And you know, it's scary. My reputation wasn't built by hiding behind a keyboard or writing articles. It was built by putting my real name, my real face, and my integrity behind everything I do. If someone has a question about me or why I promote these products, they don't have to rely on your opinion or mine. They can ask me directly, and I'll answer every question honestly. At the end of the day, time has a way of exposing the truth. If Go and Salarium weren't delivering products or value, people wouldn't still be using the products they purchased years later. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Salarium just relaunched. Like in January. And we're still waiting for these products. So it hasn't been years, right? But time does have a way of exposing the truth. I'll continue standing behind what I've personally experienced, and I'll let my integrity, my customers, and my actions speak louder than accusations. People don't have to take your word or mine. Ask questions, review the products, do your own research, then make your own informed decision. P.S. Real journalism seeks both sides. It doesn't start with a conclusion and then work backwards. And I've talked about this before. Every single time that I do a video about a scam, I try to prove it's not a scam. Every time that Oz does an article about an MLM, he doesn't go in there going, how can I prove that this thing's scammy? We go in there wanting it to be legitimized. MLMs are legal, right? So why we keep gotta do all this, you know? I look for the legitimization of it. I look for the LLCs. I look at the coding of the website and the products. We look at the wallets, the crypto wallets if they're there. We read the ingredients if it's health and wellness products. And we research if the products can do what they claim that they're going to do and things like this. We try to prove that it's not a scam, but somehow every time in doing that, we actually end up finding out that it's worse off than when we started. Right? So that's not how it's done. And then I wrote a comment. I say, hey, Oz, great article. I am unsure if you are aware, but Danny and myself had an interview with Steve Sughrim in which he refused to tell us where his company was registered. I ended up doing a full deep dive of Steve on my channel. He is quite the fraud. Thank you so much for confirming what we found and for exposing some things we had yet to find. Also, don't pay attention to the coping in the comment section from Mr. Alan Jones. He is a clown. Take care. So, it's interesting. Because is Mr. Alan Jones a victim of these? Is he a perpetrator? Should we be reading this and feeling bad for him? Should we be reading this and cheering Oz on? Telling him to get more sassy? I'm not really sure, you know? It's registered in the USA, of course, right? It's Queen. We know her. You think he's a perp? Like, because the problem with Salarium Life, as well as Oz mentions here, is that all of the people at the top of it, like, it basically is just like Steve, Alan here, Megan Lynch, people like that, right? So it's like, man, are those the people that are making the money off of this? Are they? But I really hope that Alan can, you know, give my video a watch. Go and watch it. Go and watch it. It's not just me talking about who Steve is. We start off with that. This is literally me talking about the coding of the website. We talk about the DH media, the coding. Alan, did you dig into the coding and see that there's nothing there? You know, we go over how they market it. We go over the matrix. We bring all of that up. You know, we talk about all of it. We do the interview, right? With Steve, where he comes up and he's all like, I'm not telling you where it is. And then we get into literally his whole background. Him being a doctor of divinity. He's a bit manipulative. My bite model senses be tingling. We talk about what that actually means. We talk about his awards and how they're actually bought from the store. Online, an online store. Where I literally show you the store and how much it costs to get the things he claims that he got here. Alrighty? And then we also look at him in full. And his foundations we talk a little bit about. And I might not be done with Steve yet and Salarium Life. I'm definitely not done with them. I'll probably be covering them a lot more in the future. And maybe I'll have to look into Mr. Alan T. Jones now. Just give him 2 weeks and he can prove it's not a scam. That's what he told us. That's what he told us. And this, I posted my video a month ago, and it was posted at least a week after Danny and I did that interview. So what are we waiting for? It's been like a month and a half. And all they say is, well, people are using the products. They didn't even have the pricing of their products correctly, if you remember. The pricing jumps up when you go to purchase it. You think you're purchasing something for like 150 credits or whatever they call them. And then you go to click on it and then it's like, actually, it's 300. And we were like, Steve, what's this? And he was like, oh, well, we're in a pre-launch phase. So I have to fix all of that stuff. Well, you know, and at that time he was also saying, oh, people love using our product. I feel like this whole thing is just Steve and a bunch of these MLM serial promoters who have hopped around, like Megan Lynch being one of them. This Alan guy maybe being another one, right? And that's all it is. None of them's using the products, but then they're all pretending that they love these products. It's crazy. And the products suck. When you actually just go and look at the products, like he has a website builder, and we found the templates that he's using with his website builder with another website builder. We outed that as well. It's like you're stealing from other platforms and then claiming them as his own. Or they're all like made with open source code stuff, and he doesn't have a patent on any technology. And like his software is just, eh. And then they're just selling these memberships. I mean, the main thing you're buying in Salarium Life is a membership. Then once that's free and you join, you got to purchase the credit package. And I mean, I say this after we also saw Megan's back office, where she showed us that she hadn't activated any of the products. Not one. Not one. And so I want Mr. Alan T. Jones, get a hold of me. I might get a hold of you after this. Because I would like you to come up here on my channel, and I would like you to explain to all of us why you are in this complete MLM Ponzi scheme that is not affiliate marketing. And then I would like you to show me how you use these products for your business. And I would like you to show me the products, since apparently Steve forgot about it. You know, prove me wrong, and Danny wrong, and Oz wrong. Prove us all wrong. Come on up here. We can arrange a time. If you don't want to do it live, I'll make it into a video, so it's just me and you. There's no chat. You know, if you're too scared of that, that's fine. We can do that. I don't mind. We can have a complete private meeting about it. I will record it and it will be put on my channel. But I want you to prove to us that these products are real. Because one of the things that he keeps saying is, no, I keep using the products for my business. They're real. They're real. Well, Megan hadn't even activated any. I made her activate one when I was asking her questions in her last Zoom meeting that we stream sniped. So, like, have you activated them? Can we see your back office? How many credits you got? It's just, this is the weirdest scam. And we have a new player to add to the mix. So I think that later on this week or next week, we'll probably be looking into Alan Jones. I'll reach out to him. I'll give him like 24 hours to reach out to me. He seems to pop up randomly whenever his name's brought up. So, you know, I'll give him some time to reach out to me. If he doesn't reach out to me, I'll reach out to him. And I will let you all know how it goes. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows it's not about the product, right? He couldn't be scared of me. That's right. Anyways, guys, I hope that you all have an amazing rest of your MLM Monday. That's all I've got for you. I'll let you know what happens with this in future if Alan wants to come on and discuss this with me and show me the proof that products exist. Or hey, even if Steve wants to come on, you know, we got to reach out to him again and go, what's going on, Steve? Maybe if I try, he'll answer. I don't know. I got to talk to Danny when he wakes up. But I hope that all of you have an amazing rest of your MLM Monday. Make sure that you go and support all of the other people that speak out about MLMs out here. All right, go and support them. Watch their channel. It is hard doing this work and it drives me crazy sometimes, but at the same time, I love it and I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. I love all of your faces and I will see you all very, very soon with another one. Bye!